I'm putting it on social media. Hello, everybody. We decided to do a spontaneous evening stream today since I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. Hey, Chuck. And
What's up, Chuck?
there's nothing, doesn't seem to be anything else going on tonight. So I figured I'd make up for it with this little bonus stream. Welcome. So go ahead and talk, and I'm going to post it on social media real quick. Or not. So
I just play music. I don't know. I picked up my guitar for some reason. I don't know why. Greetings, Chuck. How are you doing tonight? Are you doing good? Are you having a
yeah, and Jack and NeuroJack and Joshua, y'all were fighting on Discord. Come do it on here.
Yeah, just come on here. Yeah, that's what I figured. You guys are coming on to invade. That's what I figured was going to happen. That's we said that right before we're like, yeah, I bet Jack and Joshua and Jack will just end up coming
There
on.
he is.
There he is.
Summon them and they come.
We didn't even have to summon them. We just started the stream. It was like build it and they will come. This is like Field of Dreams and Stream Universe Universe.
You notice the demons showed up first.
Would it be fair? I mean, I think Neuro had like fair questions, right? So yeah, it's easier to get up here and chat than it is for me to type.
Out. I'll let you know.
Well, you'll let me know if he has fair questions.
Yep.
Damn, that's wrong. Get up here, Neuro. I know you're watching.
No, he already said he was coming. He said we invading, so he better be coming. Can you open that article I posted in Discord, Jeff? I don't know, man. Can I? I think you mean may. Will you open that article? I think that's what you mean to say. Will I open that article?
Yeah. Look at Chris just like policing language here, right?
Chris had his nightly whiskey shot. So Chris
Jack, can you link it backstage so I'll know which article?
Yeah, let me grab that real quick. Yeah, we're not fighting. We're just trying to like define our terms a little bit. That's all. We're not fighting.
Oh no, we're fighting. I'm gonna beat his ass. No, he's asking.
I hope y'all are fighting. I didn't start this stream for nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he's asking fair questions. Coming from my position, it is kind of an odd position to have.
Yeah, and I don't really have a problem with your odd position. I'm just trying to cast doubt in your mind, just because if you call it Christian nationalism and there's nothing Christian about it, then it's kind of like a semantics game at some point.
The topic, Christian nationalism?
I mean,
sort of, yeah, I guess.
Well,
here, hold up, freeze. Would you consider, take this as an example. So the Church of Satan, aka their members are Satanists. Do you believe that their position is to worship Lucifer?
Not the Church of Satan.
Hold up. Let it be, Jeff. Let it be.
Don't you ask a question?
I'm not exactly sure.
No, I'm asking Neuro.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm not sure. Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So how that generally comes about is the pillars are pretty much like they were given this title specifically because their pillars are pretty much on the principles of human nature. All of the things about humans that's to be celebrated, probably even the good, bad, and ugly parts, right? Christianity comes along and says this is evil, which I tend to kind of agree with. However, they're the ugly parts within human nature that are being celebrated. That's where Christianity comes along and says these are Satanists, right? It's just a word. In this case, it's just a label. Society comes up with labels all the damn time, right?
Sure.
So now
the Satanists the eye of the beholder, though, when you talk about the ugly side and this is evil, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Well, working within that framework, what if a member or the leader of the Church of Satan suddenly decided, well, I'll call myself a Christian and I'll become the leader of Christian nationalism. Would you be
Well,
okay
he
with
didn't
that?
do that because the Church of Satan has a specific leader. He's not even around anymore.
No, but
He
I'm just
didn't-
saying,
he
like,
didn't do that.
in a hypothetical situation, if the leader of the Satanic Church suddenly decided, well, I'll just become a Christian in name only, and I'll lead the Christian nationalist movement to become more like satanic, these Church of Satan, that would be a problem. And how would you combat that?
Well, it would be a problem for the gullible fools that buy into it and don't have enough discernment to recognize actual Christianity. From
I
the
totally
subversive
agree.
control.
Now we're on the same page. That's what I'm asking Joshua.
Right. Well, what makes you think that? Is the contention which one of the Christians and which ones are not the Christian? Because you've heard me say I'm an atheist, right? That idea of me laying claim to being a Christian nationalist is not based off of faith.
No, I understand that, but that's kind of my point. Is like, if all of the people who are deciding the policies for what Christian nationalism are using secular values to institute
What
Christian
what
morality,
makes
and it's not
yeah
really
what
Christianity. It's not Christianity at that point. Is
right,
kind of
right.
my point.
What makes you think all of the people are dictating their
Chuck, I'll leave you
policies within their group?
Say that one more time. I apologize.
What makes you think that all of the people are dictating what policies, basically what policies they have within their group?
Oh, I don't, but and I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is, if none of the people who are actually instituting the policies are Christian, then it's not Christian, is it?
I would lay claim that many of them are Christians, hardcore bastards, and I do mean hardcore. Hell, you've had run-ins within Orthodoxy.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
there's a
I
whole
guess
new
it depends
meaning
on.
to the word orthodox. Sorry, just carry on.
I'm just,
Well,
I just got banned off of a server for this. We'll come
Which
up with this.
one? Oh, the race one. Yeah, you were having some race drama.
Wasn't race drama. It was just somebody did something that I adamantly opposed, and decided, yeah, I'm going to be nasty about it.
You tried to dox them.
I didn't try anything. I did.
Oh, you did dox them. Okay.
okay, well, see, that's interesting because, see, this is something that I've heard from many Christian nationalists, which is, well, doxing is okay under Christian nationalism because, well, you ought to be held accountable for your actions.
Doxing is a platform policy. It is not a law. It's not a whatever the hell it is. It's just people saying, oh, you ought not do it. Some people do it for some reasons. Like me, there's lots of things I just won't care about, and so I won't mention anything. There are a few things that there are lines that if crossed, I will damn sure go for the throat.
And what was this line?
Well, this line was a false accusation. Somebody, a girl specifically, she pretended to be a certain thing. She got up on panel and was, making all of these red pill arguments. When confronted with her OnlyFans, keep in mind she kind of rode the Christian concept a little bit, but when she was exposed with her OnlyFans link, yeah, it got kind of problematic. So what she ended up doing, because almost everybody on the panel was basically calling her out for bullshit, basically.
And this was Black community.
Isn't
OnlyFans
really doxing?
Well, no, it wasn't her OnlyFans that got doxxed, not by me, anyways. Anyways, somebody leaked that information on there.
Vigilante justice out in
Right.
the streets.
So, anyways, all of the girls on the panel, it was basically like a pick-me versus the hyenas, however you want to label it, kind of thing, right? Chris, are you going to play that thing, or hit mute if you're going to play?
I'm sorry. I thought I was providing background music to the conversation. That's why I was playing it muted.
If you'll turn it down a little bit.
I can turn it down.
I'll stop playing it, man. Don't worry about it.
No. You can play it. It just, if you're going to make it background, make it background.
I was fully muting it, so it's all right, man. It's really not a big deal. I'm just goofing around. So just it's an impromptu stream thing. Like you guys go for it.
Right. So, anyways, what it boils down to is she was basically making a lot of claims, arguing from a point. I don't know. She was hypocritical. Might be the term you could probably throw out there.
Well, did you do it? Did you see it as a sense of danger in what she was doing, and that did you see it as like a?
I dislike that part. The part that I decided to draw my line on was when she made a false accusation against the host.
Okay, so
And then
what
everybody
I'm
turned
asking
on
is,
you.
Her claim on the host was he sent me sexual advances in DMs. Immediately, the show like freezes, and so all of these DMs pop up, and the host calls her out, and I'm sitting here like, bitch, the host is married, right? Like, these streams kind of like stay up on YouTube forever, kind of
well,
thing. Right?
under Christian nationalism, you would see this man guillotined if the accusations were confirmed, right? So you take it very seriously.
Wait, what?
If the accusations were confirmed, but
thought
since
it
they
was
were
about
false
Canaan.
allegations, I take the opposite approach of
So
now I'm
so
going to
you actually
guillotine
have
her.
guillotined in your system for that, right?
Yes, which is actually what I'm exactly doing. I'm technically socially guillotining her. I pulled her credit report. I pulled her ID or credit report. I'm still building up a lot of information because I've
So
never.
where does vigilante justice fit into Christian nationalist society?
Everywhere.
And a liberal society that we live in now.
Yeah, everywhere.
Well, hold on, but wait, aren't you
Well-
as a Fed implicitly and explicitly?
So it sounds like we're going back to the Bronze Age with.
Yeah,
But
I'm not doing anything illegal if that's what you're asking.
No, I know,
can't-
but what I'm saying is, aren't you kind of like implicitly and explicitly as someone who is about law and order against vigilantism? Or are you just saying that social shame is not?
Yeah, this is social vigilantism. It's not like based on a legal concept. Doxing is not illegal. Well, I mean, some information is.
Well,
Like I can't leak anything that comes directly from my department, right? Which is where I pull the information. What I
but there
can
were
do,
consequences to it, right? Because didn't the community turn on you?
well, yes, and they should have, right? But their gripe has got nothing to do with the doxing. It's got to do with they don't know. They want to guarantee that there's a line where if I can do it to her, what stops me from doing it to
What
anybody
stopped
else?
you from arbitrarily just doxing each other?
There isn't. There's no guarantee ever.
right. Well, and here's what I would say. Like, my primary problem with doxing is not only the danger from having your information plastered on the internet, because I mean, technically, that's actually not hard to find for somebody who really wants to find it. But it's more
This
of
is
that.
true.
You don't know who the audience is, and you don't know what they will use that information for. That might include illegal activity. Do you see what I'm saying?
But you said it's information that anybody could find anyway, so what does it matter?
Well,
and shout out to the Robert Escobar show out there in the audience. Hello.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Like, technically, what the woman did, I don't know if you could say it's illegal, but it's certainly immoral to make a false accusation of that magnitude in a public platform, right?
It's only illegal if you file some like a police report. Then it becomes illegal. But to just say it outright, no, you can freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
You cannot make a false sexual allegation about somebody.
She lied, and
evidence.
there were consequences to her lie. Which is Joshua doxing her, and then there was consequences to Joshua doxing her, and that's where the rule of law breaks down order, and we end up.
Sure.
No rule of law. No rule of law. No rule of law. There's just
this is the Wild Wild West.
Okay, well, hold on a second. But you could argue that what she did was punishable via a what do you call it, civil court, essentially. Like, you could argue that she did damage.
I mean, he could take her to civil court and like sue her for libel or whatever the charge is.
Well, if there's damage incurred, and you can prove it, essentially.
Right,
Would you agree with that, Joshua, or not?
Yes, Risky would have
Joshua
to prove.
Could have let
he would have to prove harm.
Handle it himself. He kind of inserted himself in somebody else's drama.
This is true too. I guess he probably could have if he could demonstrate harm. I'm not so sure how that works. I don't know anything about the streaming thing.
I doubt it would have gone anywhere. But there was a system in place for him. If the guy had a grievance with her, for him to handle it with the existing system. And
Well,
you didn't have standing anyway. Like, none of it was your business.
yeah, there was no. Well, okay, so like Risky, I believe banned her off the panel. I believe so.
Well,
I don't consider that to be enough.
So you
I'm
took
saying
matters-
that is a very weak response.
You were
Not that he
busybody.
could do much. Yeah, not that Risky could do much more. I can, and thus am doing.
what? Okay, so here's my question for you, Joshua. Do you? Where do you draw the line? I mean, let me put it this way: if there were unintended consequences, such as a crazy person felt it in their best interest to go find her and do something bad to her, would you feel any? I wouldn't use the word
No,
remorse.
no
Have you met
remorse.
Joshua
For that?
Jones?
No remorse whatsoever. No.
Okay, got it. I mean, do you understand like how the host of that
Yeah,
show
yeah,
may feel
yeah.
culpable for
No,
your act?
I'll be real clear. So I've been on panels where an example would be one dude will make the claim, but I believe anybody that says the N word, I'm going to punch him in the face. I tend to agree with that. I don't believe that people should be able to just say whatever they want without some type of consequences.
Well, we can in America.
Yeah, you have a right to say whatever you want. The other person has the right to punch you in the damn face. You end up with a hospital system, and yeah, maybe somebody could end up
Technically,
in jail
one
for
person
it.
committed a law, broke a law, and the other one didn't, though. The person who
Right.
punched the person in the face
Josh was
Right.
he's just a
The person
savage.
said the N-word just said the N-word. I mean, I don't think those are really equivalent.
Yeah, people generally want to police language, right? They want to say, "Oh, I can say whatever I want."
No,
Society
I don't.
doesn't operate that way.
That I don't, and nobody in my generation did. That is a new trend that I've noticed with this current generation.
What? No, even back in the '90s, we used to.
Not
People used to
anybody
get
I hang
beat up
around.
for saying that
Nobody
shit.
where I come from was telling each other how to talk. That's just not something
Oh,
that
the telling.
adults do with each other, or even other children, even other kids.
Well, I don't know. So the N word getting beat up. Whoever says it gets beat up. That was always a thing. That's one side of that spectrum of somebody trying to enforce language policing, right? Now you fast forward and everybody's all about I can say whatever I want, and it's free speech kind of bullshit. That's the other end of the spectrum. I'm on the side of, if you say something, it's going to come with consequences.
You don't like, because you have appointed yourself the sole arbiter of what people are allowed or not allowed to say. So if they say something you don't like, then you're going to take justice into your own hands.
Well,
justice. You keep throwing this word out here. Well, wait. Okay, one. Sole arbiter.
Tonight? I even used the word vigilante justice, and you said, "Yep, that's what it is. Yep."
No. Social anti-justice. Social. Vigil, social anti-justice.
Okay. Well, it's still justice.
Yeah. It's not. I agree. Oh, okay. Well, so long as we're not putting it on the legal framework, right? Because I'm saying
an existing legal system. Should the dude himself decide he wants to pursue it, but you took things into your own hands because she said something you didn't think she should have said, and you inserted yourself in some drama that wasn't yours because you about what she said. So you're like the speech police.
She had every opportunity. She got caught in her lie on that exact stream. She had the opportunity because the dude said, "You need to apologize to me." She's like, "Nope." Okay, you got an attitude.
What is
I love those
do
types.
you? Like, why does do you have that poor of boundary?
Why is Joshua? I mean, I've never seen Joshua Jones care about anything enough to get involved
right.
in business like that. Like that's what's weird to me. I mean, it's not the fact that people get involved in other people's business all the time. It's like
suddenly he goes in the phone booth and puts his cape on and runs out to rescue this
guy. Because for the past 15 years, I've seen women get positions for spreading their legs. I've seen false accusations be used to take advantage of other people, and at some point, I got tired of it.
You got triggered.
Yeah, I just got tired of the bullshit. Said, you know what? If these bitches can do this shit, I can be an asshole. And I'm good at being an asshole. That's the stance.
Well, I guess my question would be, I guess, by what standard do you decide whether or not you would do such a thing? Like if somebody said, well, fuck America, for
Arbitrary.
example. I'm not saying that, but let's just say somebody said that. Would you find that like, well,
No, not particularly.
okay. So what would be the threshold? Because again, I'm just asking you because I've heard a lot of Christian nationalists say the same thing.
There isn't specifically some defined threshold. Most principles that I stand on are kind of arbitrary. Like some things I have I just forgive. They might bother me, but I let it go. Some things I have firm lines on. And that's really what the problem is. Most people want to go up to a person. They say, hey, before I engage with you, I want to know all of the boundaries that you have. That way I know not to cross them. That's fine and dandy, but the person should infer, like from the beginning, they should start with, you know what? I'm not going to play these type of games, right? I'm not going to like start insulting people because I disagree with them and shit like that. You can generally read another person and say, hey, we operate by a different set of rules and a set of standards that don't go into this new modern age. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. That's the problem. People, once they know boundaries, they're going to push them.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you're kind of a rule of law person to some degree, right? If somebody
that's a little no, I've turned my head on several things.
Okay, sure.
If anybody wants to dox Joshua and send this to his employer, feel free.
Yeah, my that is my legal name right there, minus my middle name. Currently located in Vietnam. You can contact the consulate's office, not the embassy's office here.
Yet, so his wife.
Okay, well, let's not talk about doing that. Okay, so here's my question: would you say that if somebody were to potentially, hypothetically, take the information that you put out as a out there and ran with it, did something wrong, do you think that there is a legal standing to have you held accountable? Just as a hypothetical, like I'm just asking you, like
there isn't a legal standing. That's the thing.
Okay, so people producing information that is then misused in a public forum is not held as accessory to whatever the crime may be.
Legally speaking, no.
Okay, yeah, and I'm asking genuinely because I don't know, because this seems like to be this generally seems to be the biggest argument against doxing as far as I know, right? Like
there is a loophole if it's done with that intention. Intention, really difficult thing to prove. My job or the stance that I'm taking here is she basically posed as one thing that kind of bothered me, but so do a lot of women get on panels and do the same thing,
and men and guys.
So yeah, I guess there's some guys that do some really weird shit that anyways. My stance on this is she made an accusation. I'm not actually even fighting for Risky. I'm fighting specifically for his wife.
Well, let me ask this. Okay, so you are a general.
Wait, you're standing up for a woman?
Yeah, he's white knighting. Yes.
Oh my God.
Technically speaking.
What world am I on? I think I slipped dimensions, guys. I think this isn't the same one I woke up in this morning. I don't know where.
Oh, hang on. I turned your mic on.
Let me.
I'm a misogynist against trashy ass bitches, right? But when you get women that are kind of, I don't know, doing their role in society, I put them on I put them on a pedestal.
Okay, let me ask another hypothetical. Hypothetically, okay, you see yourself as a person fighting for Christian nationalism, right?
Oh, within this context? No, not at all.
In general, you do.
Well, he's a man consistent with his principles, at least.
No, but I'm saying you as an individual, you consider yourself someone who personally advocates for Christian nationalism. It's a personal endeavor of yours, not a political one.
Personally and economically, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, so here's what I would say. So if you were to find that someone, by what standard do you judge if someone is actually a Christian nationalist fighting for Christian nationalism? And
I don't yet, for the same reason that Like, I have a hard time with the whole concept of everybody's like laying claim for being communist, right? Most of these fuckers don't have a commie card. Like, there is a political group within the USA. It's called CPUSA. I think it's a .org. That is the Communist Party of America. Yeah, these people ain't they're not gonna join membership to it. Now, how they get into membership, I actually don't know. I think you pay for.
But like, as you said, you are a card-carrying communist, but you don't see any conflict with being a communist and also at the same time being a Christian nationalist, correct?
Yeah, no, I'm only a communist because I'm functioning within a government that requires me.
I understand. I've been to Asia. I know how it works. I totally get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying this to be against you, but what I'm saying is, like, as a general thing, like, someone could technically be a communist and a Christian nationalist at the same time, or would you say those things are antithetical?
There are probably, to answer your question, there are probably millions upon millions upon millions of Christians that are just posers. It's very well probably the case. No, actually, it is the case. How I can identify one from the other, I don't know. Not my job to deal with.
Sure, I understand. But here's what I'm saying. If you were to find that someone was pretending to promote Christian nationalism, and then you found out that they actually were trying to undermine Christian nationalism, would you feel the same?
Oh, I would attack them.
Calling to
I would attack them.
Okay, got it. And I guess what I would, and I'm asking this because, like, I consider myself a Christian nationalist, but I do question other people who call themselves Christian nationalists, because I don't know if we agree on what that ought to be. So would I be the enemy of these people? See what I'm saying? Like, that's where I get.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with because this goes back to the whole ortho bros. That I do have.
Like, I actually generally agree with Orthodox theology as a Christian, but I also, like, I question, like,
I agree. I agree. There's a group of assholes floating around and wearing Christian skin suits, proposing a certain system that they are not complying with themselves.
Well, neither are you. You just said that. You just said what you did tonight.
Well, this one technically is an anti-Christian.
You're
it's not even.
Hypocrisy.
No. This absolutely is not anti. No, this isn't anti-Christian, right? Society doesn't define Christianity.
You do.
Well, no, I may claim I lack faith. Thus, I'm not really a Christian. I just support Christian nationalism.
Except when you don't, like tonight.
Like what?
Because Jack asked you if this fits into your principles of Christianity. You're like, oh, no, definitely not. Not what I did tonight. No.
It's not part of Christianity. Releasing public information. No, releasing public information because I so happen to have found her legal name. Running a credit report on a person, which is, again, public domain if you have access to it. You just generally have to buy membership, or I don't know.
It's very easy to do. You don't need any special.
Then going down all of those lists of things, whoever they're doing business with, seeking out that information and who she does business with, who she doesn't do business with, all of that bullshit, posting all of that, whatever that leads to. Her husband, she claims to be married. I'm going to find out if that's true.
So this is not over.
Oh, no. I'm just now getting started, actually. Yeah, when I want information, I'm going to get everything there is, or I'm going to hope to get everything there is. I mean, even my access is kind of limited.
You really are a troll.
No, I'm really an asshole.
Yeah, that too.
Man, you were so proud of that title, though. I swear to God, like,
right?
Like, you go after that one, like the way a lot of people like would go out for, like, they want to be like the best in basketball or the best in, like,
right. So
you're like no, not me, man. I'm the best at being an asshole.
Here's the problem.
The Olympics, it's like the
here's the problem. Here's the problem. Most people don't stand on any of their principles. They talk a really good game, like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and you ought to do this and you ought to do that. Nobody actually points that gun at themselves, ever. They won't stand on shit. They'll talk, but they won't do much. That's the issue. So everybody's like, oh, you ought just let things go. You ought just tolerate certain things. No, you ought not tolerate too much of anything.
Well, what kind of society is that? Part of liberalism, I think, is tolerance of other viewpoints. In fact, I covered that on my show yesterday.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a liberal.
Okay.
But you believe in liberalism. You're not a liberal.
Well,
but you
it's the
believe in
liberal
liberalism to some
society
degree,
that
don't
allows you to sit here and advocate for your Christian nationalism in the first place.
This is true.
What would you say? You're more of a fascist, really?
I definitely would be really close to being a fascist if it was the case that there was something on top to actually enforce, right? So Christian nationalism holds no political leanings currently. It very well could be like in, I don't know, 300 years. I'd be I'd be happy if they even formed a political party within the next 25 years, but I'd be really surprised at that.
At least you've met unlike every other fascist I've ever spoken to. So I mean, there's that. So you got that going for you.
I mean, at this point, like Jack Talcott's society makes seeming more realistic than anything Joshua was describing.
I don't know about that, Jeff.
And Jack, at least,
no. I'm sorry.
Principles.
I'm sorry. Joshua Jones's society is much more plausible than Jack Talcott's.
I don't think it is. I do not.
Jack Talcott's requires everybody to sing Kumbaya.
I don't think you're going to have the numbers to implement a fascist theocracy like he's advocating.
Well, hold up. Wait.
Not in the United States.
This is easy to demonstrate. Freeze. This is easy to demonstrate. Would you consider it to be a fascist action to remove voting rights from a specific gender within a society? Would you consider that to be fascist?
I mean, it certainly sounds like something a fascist would do. I don't know if it actually fits into the fascist political. I mean,
everything's fascist
platform.
These days, so you could probably.
I'm saying, it does sound like something a fascist would do, even though I don't know if it's necessarily a fascist talking.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Right. So minus the fascism part, right? How many men do you believe there are in society that are really big subscribers to what they call like the red pill community?
Me.
Okay.
I don't think
many?
Enough men.
Well, hold up. How many? What percentage of those males?
No idea, but it seems smaller than it.
You think it's smaller?
Just totally subjectively.
I'm willing to gamble that you're going to hit at least 3/4 of male. Really? Just based.
I did see a poll that the younger generation is like, there's a big divide between the females who are mostly progressive liberal and the males who are mostly red-pilled.
So for them to have any type of authority, all they have to do is age up to Senate age to get into a seat. And even then, you only need a specific number of people to hold those seats to actually.
I believe in the tempering influence of liberalism, since that's the society they're growing up in.
Yeah. Everything is going to influence everybody, right? Like everything's going to have it. I don't even claim like the Gen Z people are going to be the ones to do it. I actually think the generation before them are going to be able to do it.
I don't think most people are going to give up the freedoms and individual rights they have in the United States.
There's no giving up. See, this is the weird part about it. People on the street seem to lay claim that they think they're going
rights.
Right. People are just saying, oh, I have a right, right? A lot of people are just talking like they have rights. They have no actions behind it. They don't do anything.
We do because we have a government right now that has an enforcement mechanism in place.
Right. So what happens when the government decides, you know what, we passed House bill, we're getting the Senate bill, we're going to remove women's right to vote. What happens?
When the people decide, not the government.
No. The people, here we go. The people do not decide this. This is going to be House seats, and then it goes up to Senate.
You know how laws are made and the checks and balances on our government?
Yeah, and I'm telling you how to fucking remove an amendment.
Yeah, I know how amendments work.
Okay, that's the amendment that gets removed. Just because
it
it's
doesn't
there
get
does not mean it
removed.
can't be
It
removed.
doesn't get removed in an autocratic fashion, top down, is what I'm saying. It gets removed as part of a political process that we all participate in.
Yeah. What's that political process? You vote for somebody to get into office. In this case, Senate.
That and the checks and balances from the three.
What are the
branches,
checks
three
and balances that
co-equal
stop?
branches of- Did you not watch Schoolhouse Rock?
What are the checks and balances of a
Look them up. They're
constitutional
different for each
modification?
branch.
I hate to tell you this, but amendments have been both added and removed from the Constitution in its
Okay, but
entire
I
history.
don't believe your little fantasy world where the whatever amendment is going to just
Oh,
get
oh,
magically
oh, no, sir.
removed without any influence. by
No,
the
sir.
people
I am
themselves.
laying claim that there are enough men in society that will eventually age up into those positions. All they
and
have to
use
do
the
is
political process to remove it. They can't
right.
just like say we're men, we're aged now, we're coming into the Congress and removing this amendment. They
What
still
part did
have
I
to
say?
go through
What
the
part?
same
What did I
process
say?
as
God
everybody
damn it,
else.
Jeff. What did I say that operated outside that you think that there was some like men going to go into the government with guns or something and enforce
You said
it?
when the government decides to remove the amendment, like it's just going to be this autocratic act.
That is the
decided by
government. That is
without any
literally
input
the
from the people
government
themselves.
removing it.
Dumb. You're having a dumb argument.
No, that is the government removing it.
Carry on with your little fantasy. I didn't mean to derail you. Go ahead. When this magical amendment removal happens, what next?
Would you like an example of the past history of amendments getting removed?
No, just continue with your fantasy.
Because I mean, it's happening. They happened exactly how I'm describing
you
now.
You're not going to have this all night, so take the opportunity to continue.
What platform? You're arguing semantics. You injected yourself into the conversation. What was it?
Politics.
Sir, I'm arguing fucking history. This has happened before.
I'm done arguing it. I want you to continue with what you were saying.
I know, because I have historical events within our own government doing the same damn thing. Well, almost the same thing.
Well,
amendments have been removed.
Or Chris, either one, if he's not going to continue.
I mean, I don't know.
My only point is I don't think the numbers are going to be there to enact whatever you think they're going to enact.
I believe they are. That's not the number isn't the question.
What happened? You think this?
Yeah, it's going to take a certain critical mass to
you really
enact.
do believe that within our lifetimes that they're going to remove women's ability to vote from this country?
Within 25 years, this is the thing. It's not the numbers that's the problem. It's them holding this mentality, the same mentality for the next 25 years. That's what it's going to take.
It's the political will to do so, not the numbers.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it's ever going to be there. He just gets wackier and wackier.
Well, no. I understand what he's saying. What he's saying is he thinks that there will be enough political pressure to do such a thing, is what he's saying.
Why? Where is it going to go?
I don't believe that. There's no. The only people I even hear talking about that are like the.
Just you. Just
Nick went in the Groiper people.
Let me make a redirection really quickly. Here's my question for Joshua. Please. Would you say that your version of Christian nationalism wants to work within the confines of the checks and balances as they currently exist, or are you looking at something that will have to, at some point, probably have to go around?
My version. I don't really have a version. All I can describe is their policies currently, but I don't hold this idea. Okay, so an example would be like divorce, right? Christian nationalism supports the concept of marriage and divorce being outside of the state, meaning if you get married within a church, that church then has the authority to arbitrate the divorce, not the state, basically. Now, the idea of that starting point, is it always going to be that way? Most likely not, because it's like anything else that gets a memento in a direction, it's going to go just full scale. Christianity and democracy they're not compatible. And so the Christian nationalists, this is going to be way past our lifetime.
There's plenty of Christian Democrats.
Let me ask it in a more direct way. Let's think about Mean Mr. Mustache, who got voted into office, then declared himself, God Emperor, for example. If someone did that in the United States, would you say, but they did it under the name of Christian nationalism, would you personally have an issue with that, or would you just say, well, that's just how these things go?
If Christian nationalism stood up and decided that they wanted to be the sole authority within the United States, I wouldn't oppose it. No.
But how would you judge whether or not they were being honest in their in what they were doing?
You wouldn't be able to measure them themselves. Like, let's just say it was Mustache Man was the guy that stood up. Like, there's this singular person, right? There'd be no way to measure that person. You just have to basically measure the people around them. I would imagine it's going to be a bunch of long bearded Moses type figures that are pretty much everything we describe as to very mean old stay off the grass type men.
Right. Well, here's the reason I actually use that example. We had a discussion earlier today that you probably didn't hear, where some of us were kind of making the argument, not me specifically, but I kind of agree with the assessment, which is that Mean Mr. Mustache was a Catholic in name only, and he actually had a completely different set of beliefs that he was passing off as quote Catholic. Right, so that's kind of why.
Oh God, yeah, the was Hitler a Christian argument. Yeah, I've heard this. The only real lay claim to it is basically in Mein Kampf, I believe, in the paperback, page 47. It's where he was laying claim to doing God's work. I mean, yeah, anybody can claim a thing.
Yeah, and which God is etc. Right, so yeah, exactly.
Well. So it would be the idea that if it were, again, I lack faith, so I have a little harder time wrapping my head around this. But let's just hypothetically say I jump into the on board of God exists, right? If we're talking about the Abrahamic God, now we got issues, right? Because the Bible has literally ordered genocides of people before. Like, it is a thing. So now the question is, well, God would never do. Well, yeah, he did it in the past. What the hell's the difference with the modern society?
Right. So
I would actually
come. By what standard do you justify such a thing?
Do I justify a thing? If it is the case that I believe in a God, then I would have no qualms.
Yeah, I'm not saying you specifically, but what I'm saying is, that's kind of the whole argument. Like, okay, Mean Mr. Mustache did this thing, and he said, well, I'm a Christian, therefore I have the right to do it, which technically, as a Christian, you can make that argument under your understanding. But that's what I'm saying is, how do you judge whether or not?
Okay. You're asking about the authoritative position. It would be the church. I'm just not sure what the church would be.
Right. Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah.
The one that's in decline and has been for decades.
Sure.
But you're going to somehow amass the numbers to pull this off.
Strangely enough, the numbers of Christian followers within the United States has declined. Strangely enough, also, the numbers of Catholics and the number of Orthodox have increased. So it could just be the case that people are just shifting. I don't know. It depends on how you want to read the stats.
Okay. I want to read them realistically, but read them however you want.
There is no realistically. You can interpret stats one way or the other.
I just know that religion is declining in the United States.
Well, here's my question, Joshua. Would you say that that you probably would say your estimation is that it will probably end up being the Catholic Church and some maybe confederation of other Christians that kind of are going to have to make a deal with each other at the end of all this? Is that kind of what you're driving at?
I would believe that it must be the case, just because there's too many Christian factions out there, especially some hardcore ones, like even Israelites themselves. They're kind of on up there. Like, if you were to take Catholicism, Orthodoxy, and Israelites, put them together, right? Like, the doctrines are only slightly different in weird ways. Some people call them schisms. Israelites lay claim to a bloodline. Like, there's weird shit that gets in there. They're all going to have to figure their shit out.
Yeah, and I mean, and I just want to say thank you for actually having this conversation, Joshua, because my big complaint with most Christians and Christian nationalists is that we don't have these type of discussions openly. And I mean, I can understand why you might not want to, but I think that
I can't do now.
I think
tonight.
it is important, honestly.
But I encourage. I think the more people that hear this dumb shit idiocy, the better. So I encourage more discussions like this. I wish Joshua Jones would go on national platforms and have this discussion.
You probably wouldn't like it because a conflict.
I would love it. I would support it. I would probably buy your plane ticket.
It would be the reason why you don't have this conversation, Neuro, is because the conflict would take place in the wrong order. Your first order of business cannot be to divide the Christian factions. They are stronger within numbers.
They're dividing themselves already.
I hear your claim. If it is the case that that the Christians were to get together, right, and fight amongst themselves, who's going to be the authority and how that's going to do it, they'll relinquish a lot of their numbers, and thereby the next step kind of loses any momentum just because there's not enough numbers for majority to be able to do anything.
Sure. Yeah, and I get that. And I guess for me, I can appreciate that as a Christian and as a American nationalist. But what I would say is, like, as a Christian, I also have to say, like, and as an American as well, I see the opportunity to be seized upon will be very enticing by people who are probably not Christian to have undue influence on the outcome of such a conflict, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, there would be lots of groups that could benefit from it or use it as sideline benefit.
Non-Americans and non-Christians would love to get in on dividing up and conquering America and Christians, or some combination thereof, right? So you see, that's kind of the
sure.
You have the same concern, but I'm saying, like, specifically, that's why I say, like, I get where you're saying, like, oh, well, it could be detrimental to Christians, but I think it also, by not doing so, leaves the window open for people who are not actually interested in seeing those goals come to fruition, interfere and do things that will not benefit you, even if we come at it from completely different.
There's always going to be outside opposition to any group. That's just the nature of things.
Sure. Smart ones, you're not going to see them very easily, is kind of my point, right? Like, they're going to hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Right. So,
usually that's usually the case.
Yeah, and so I ask you,
go ahead.
What's your framework in like, what would be your general framework of trying to figure out that kind of situation?
I subscribe to the current situation where it's basically the starting point is the competition between, right? So, like, let all of the secular degenerates go off to one side, do their thing throughout the state. The Christian nationalists, or at least with all of the churches that jump on board with it, operate outside of that and do their own thing. And then you have your competition in between. Example, say for like a divorce rate. So, like, a lot of people talk about, like, the shitty divorce rate that exists right now. They're like, oh, men are going their way, women are going their way, and everybody's like, me. And so they break down these different groups, which is weird because once they get down into the hardcore religious groups, they don't have this problem. I mean, yeah, they have divorce numbers. They're very, very, very small. They're single-digit numbers, not these. Well, okay, so to be fair, that 70%, that's off your third marriage. That was a little unfair for them to throw it out there. That's why I guess Jeff doesn't like the idea that, statistics can get read any different which way. I mean, whichever agenda you want to put. I put it to the most functional way is really what it comes down to.
Can't get read any which way.
Sure they can.
No.
Oh, okay. So there's a statistic out there that
they can be interpreted, but not any which way.
There's a statistic out there that states that if you have, or if a female has more than 5 sexual partners prior to marriage, she is 72% likely to get divorced. How would you like to read that? Because I can turn it 10 different ways.
Yeah, but that's not every which way. Even 10
ways. That's why. I mean, what other ways are there?
I'm just saying there's not an infinite number of ways to read that. You can't make any. It can't.
He didn't really claim. Did he claim infinite?
You wanted to sustain.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I said every. I said every which way. Jeff doesn't like the way things are worded, right? Because he wants to leave his end option open.
Argue about dumb shit that doesn't even interest me because
no. You brought this up. I was having this is the second time.
My puzzle. You just brought me into this conversation.
No, sir. Neuro and I were discussing this, and you decided to inject yourself into it. Not any which way. Nobody fucking cares about your opinion, Jeff.
Well, then quit bringing it into the conversation.
Quit jumping in it, and nobody will bring you into it.
You brought my name in. And made
you're the one that jumped into this shit.
Then you asked me a fucking question.
You're the one that jumped into it with statistics.
Talk to Neuro.
You're the one that jumped into it with statistics.
Neuro. You're lying. Talk to Neuro.
No, sir. You want me to? I'm recording too. You want me to roll it back and play it for you?
Roll it back.
Okay. I have to disconnect and then pull the clip up. I have to disconnect and pull the clip up.
Calm down. This is let's. It's like go through all that. It's not that big of a deal, is it?
Like, is this what you want to do?
Are really this upset about this? Like, I didn't even know what we're upset about.
Gaslighting? Jesus Christ. Anyways.
Hey,
it seemed like a miscommunication to me, but whatever.
Neuro, the first problem is the order. The order can't take place where it's society first or deciding authority first, and then trying to like utilize whatever leftover numbers there are to push your way up. That can't take place. That's kind of like fighting an uphill battle. It can't happen that way. So that's one reason why most Christians aren't going to sit there and talk about it. They just can't.
Well, sure. What I'm saying though, like between now and when you get your Christian Nationalist Party, aren't there things that you can do to make it look more attractive to more people to get your numbers higher?
No. Because I don't believe that. So here's the problem. I don't believe that some members within churches ought to be members. I'm a big fan of that whole house cleaning bullshit. I don't believe non-Christians should be walking into a church.
So you shouldn't be walking to church either, then, right?
Yeah, but somebody's got the numbers to pull this off.
But that seems really convenient for you.
Well, the red pill community.
Want to go to church, so
I'm not worried about Josh.
Seems like you're giving some way out.
Self-sabotaging anyway.
Well, my question is like you use the red pillars, for example. Let me use the red pillars as an example. What percentage of the population would you estimate red pillars are?
Roughly about 75 to 80%.
Okay.
Of males. Males.
If you
can
get
that's just a statistic, man.
Okay, let me take that number. Okay, if you could get those 75% to join your team via getting them to at least adopt the secular values of Christian nationalism, right? Why wouldn't you do that before you try to institute a borderline?
Because you wouldn't want those people as members.
Oh yeah, okay. So well, okay. Let me ask this.
I think at least 40% of the male population are simps. Anyway, but,
no, I actually understand where Josh is going with this. Okay, got it. So moving from there, here's what I would say next. Okay, so would people who are gay or
no, they would be excluded.
Thank God.
No, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would people who are gay or Muslim or Jewish be allowed to live in a Christian nationalist framework as long as they remained ethical?
No.
Okay.
So they would be excluded from the nation.
Yes.
Okay.
Via volcano.
They get the volcano.
Well, would they get the volcano or would they get deported?
Volcano.
Deported into the volcano.
Talking to a sociopath. Volcano. Come on, you know the answer to this.
Yeah. Deporting. The problem with deportation is it takes both sides to agree. The other side's not going to generally agree.
Okay, got it.
Well, the volcano always says yes. And that's
but here's where I would go next. Would you have a pathway to citizenship for red pillars, gays, Muslims, whatever? Right? Would you have a pathway?
Yes, the same pathway that Christianity has its membership.
So you
Well,
just say
okay.
you just say you're
Would
Christian,
you?
stop saying you're gay, and then
Okay.
you're good to
Okay,
go?
great.
Yeah, he's
So
trying to
rather
create
than
a
throw
totally
yourself
different
into a
country.
volcano, would you take that pathway to citizenship rather than throw yourself into a volcano?
Would people lie to get in? Yes.
I know, but would you?
No. Me, no.
You're
Okay.
so principled that you would walk
He
into that
already
volcano.
knows he's going into the volcano himself. He's already planned for this.
I know.
That's
I'm just.
so
So it
delusional.
sounds like you just. I think all this is
It's
this
weird that
do you have a Joe versus volcano like fetish fantasy? Is that what this is all about? It's all a big pretext.
Yeah, he's a
for you to
sadomasochist. Yeah, we talked about
you can
even when
cosplay
Emerald
that
was
movie.
way
You can
back. We
be
talked
Tom
about
Hanks
his
sacrificing
sadomasochism.
himself to the volcano and meeting Meg Ryan. Is that what this is about? Because that's why that's the vibes I'm getting now at this point.
it's
It
weird.
like it's all about you going into a volcano at this point. But
It's weird that I've had weapons put in my face multiple times, been shot once, right? But for some odd reason, it's, oh my God, he's going to run from danger. This is not even the type of person I'm even close to being. I usually run toward it.
Why would you
probably for
advocate
stupidity reasons.
running
a
towards
society
danger
that
and
puts you
running
in
into
danger?
certain
That's
death
like
are two
normal
different
sane
things.
people don't do that.
Joshua
Yes.
will gleefully, happily, gaily even jump into the volcano.
Ow, it's got to be gaily. You have to use it properly, and I hate that. Damn it. I hate you.
All right, don't dox me for that, okay? Don't dox me for that, please.
No.
I already clipped it. It's already gone viral. I'm sorry. It's too late.
Look, so here's your problem within society currently, right? There's a lot of people that talk, not a lot of people that do. That's what we got. This is really what separates the men from the pussies that pretend to be men.
I agree with you, Joshua. Here's my question for you, and this is my final question for a minute because I got to go spend time with my kid, which is anti-degenerate, which I'm being degenerate by being on here. So I have to make sure I don't get doxxed or thrown into a volcano. So let me make this my final point.
Got it.
I absolve you, my son.
It's not going to be
So-
as fun. Go ahead and make it.
We had the three best streams, I think, today. Anyway, so let me say this, Josh. So here's my question, and I really am genuinely asking this. This is not like a bullshit question.
Yeah.
Are
Was for
you
me?
positive that your pathway to get what you want is better than trying to socially engineer people to become better people?
Can't. I hold no faith in socially engineering huge numbers of populations this way. It's not possible.
Well,
I
what
claim
about
it's
via
not possible.
economics, or what about via economics,
agree
or people respond to some sort of incentive? You would agree, right?
The economic incentive goes against the thing of become Christian so you can get rich would kind of go against the Christian doctrine, right? Like that's kind of a
Well,
Right,
what
which
I'm
is like
saying is
poverty,
you limit
right?
people's.
Everyone should be poor.
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying you limit people's resources to make them more humble, essentially.
yeah. You know what the most efficient way to limit their resources?
Throw them in a volcano.
That's pretty damn efficient, right? Like you've got all of the resources left over, plus it doesn't cost you anything. I mean,
And
sure.
once again,
What
we
I'm saying
deport
is
him to
you
the
have to.
volcano. The volcano never says no. It's
Well,
always like, yes,
exactly.
get in here, my friend.
Here's
in
my
here,
other.
my son.
Here's the other side of it.
Big
You
Daddy
have to have-
Volcano always loves you. You know.
there has to be some carrot for people to choose because actually like the I would argue that the pure stick is more or less a communist argument. Not saying that you're actually a communist. I'm just saying like, okay, there has to be some sort of carrot and stick, even if this carrot is tiny and the stick is huge,
Oh,
right?
the carrot is definitely tiny. I think we all know that at this point.
Micro penis. Tiny, yes. I think all of this is.
I'm sorry. I couldn't
carrot.
resist. I could not resist. Like Jack set that up, and yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel bad for that.
If
all
a person
the horse.
if a person can't embrace some type of faith and find a carrot, they deserve none.
Well, but you don't even have
Does
faith.
it require
You're
faith
right.
to find the
That's
carrot,
what-
Joshua?
That's why you don't see me looking around for a carrot, do you?
Oh, I see. I don't see.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask
Yeah,
you this.
technically.
Are you sure that there's no way for even someone like you to find a little carrot somewhere?
Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue how to even go about
He's got one in his
looking.
pants right now. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. I have no clue to go about finding faith, right? Like that, I don't know. If I knew, I'd probably shoot for it, right?
But if you were convinced by your fellow Christian nationalists that there is a way to provide a pathway to faith for the general population via, colloquially, let's just call it social engineering, would you change your plan of action to be towards that rather than your current plan?
Probably not. No.
What if there was a pill that made everyone a good little Christian?
Wait, hold on. Why would you not take that if you would get your goal with more people on board and you knew it 99%?
I don't believe it is the doctrine within Christianity to be appealing. Right?
Yeah, but,
if you
no, I agree. But here's the thing.
So you're asking me to change. You're asking me to do a hypothetical of change Christianity and what it is to be appealing to society. No, because that ending result would be me to drop Christianity and say, well, the fucking Muslims are
better at sales than you are.
Well, here's my point. My understanding of Christianity is you have to willfully give your heart over in a benevolent, not non-transactional exchange with your creator, right? Like, so it has to be
So have faith to get faith. That I'm not going to comprehend.
No, I know, but here's what I'm saying. If someone's facing a volcano, you're not going to get them to do it out of faith. You're going to get them to do it as a transactional thing.
Yeah, that'll be fear.
Kind of like purpose, right?
I don't think
a lot of people are going to find God and straightness and all sorts of things all really fast when they're facing the volcano.
I think I kind of understand your point. I can't make an argument on faith. I lack it, right? My argument stems from basically Mosaic law. These would be the laws that rule and govern.
Well, but my point is a gay person, a Jewish person, a Muslim could technically live by those rules as well and not be technically a Christian, right?
It's possible, but there are some excluded groups. There are some groups of the LGBT community that the Bible explicitly calls for their death.
I don't want to live in your little dystopia anyway.
Well, is it
kind of sounds like more fun to me anyway.
Well, is it by their character or is it by their actions?
Their actions.
Okay, so someone can be gay and not have gay sex, but then they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't understand the concept of like be gay but not do gay stuff.
Does
that makes any sense?
Gay, as gay.
Okay, here we go.
Call me gay all the time when I was a kid.
Let me clarify this here for you, Jeff, so you can kind of comprehend. Have you ever had sex with a? No. So the Bible has a really clear definition, right? Have you had sex with another man?
Wait. Before you answer, Jeff, is this a doxable?
That's gay.
Is this a doxable offense if he says yes?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm your lawyer today, Jeff. Go ahead.
Okay. Boy, do I feel better.
So
I know I would.
Right. It's a problem within the question to be gay, right? For somebody to say, "Oh, I'm gay," doesn't mean shit. Did you have sex with another man?
Yeah,
if that, or a woman having.
But what if we got rid of the current definition of the term gay and went back to the old colloquial one and it just meant happy?
I was gay before I ever had sex with a guy. I was gay. I was attracted to a guy.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's a difference between are you currently gay and have you ever been gay, right? So you're saying if you ever have been gay, then you still get the volcano.
Yeah, you're probably going to get the volcano. I don't know. I don't know if the concept.
A little bit of butt sex. Is it just the butt sex, or is it like the two dudes sucking each other off? And which one is it? What's the bad part?
I believe the two dudes sucking each other off is included, but again, you're asking the wrong person because Neuro just actually asked a valid question. If you were gay in the past and then all of a sudden you're no longer gay, does that count? I actually cannot point to a doctrine where that's being opposed.
Well, yeah, because it's silly, but yeah.
That's not what gay is, or how
it's not the concept of what's being gay. It's a framework within Christianity and their definitions.
Here's the difference. Though. There is a line in the Bible, which I can't remember exactly, but it says something to the effect of the whole of the law is to love others as yourself and something else. So basically, it erases the Noah laws.
That's not the fun part of the Bible where you get to kill people. That's the part that appeals to him.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a really strange argument. It's like to love your child is to not spank them. Yet there's another citation about spare
I
rod
think
for
there's
the
a
child
difference
kind of thing.
between spanking and throwing someone into a volcano, don't you?
Yeah, I love my fellow man to just kill off as much well, in this case, it would be sexual degeneracy. Yes.
Why does
Why
is
love
sexual
for
degeneracy
one, but
bother
not
you?
the other?
Why does it bother you?
Why is sexual
We already know you
degeneracy
have
worse
poor
than murder?
boundaries because you doxed that girl over something that wasn't even your business. Why
You
do
fuckers open the door for this shit.
Why
Period.
does it bother you?
How is some
What's going on in
dude
your own bedroom
having
that
sex
other
with their
people's
guy?
Okay.
Worse than murder?
Here, I'll give an example what I mean by opening the door. Chris, do you support gay marriage?
Yeah.
You open the door for degeneracy and everything else that comes afterwards.
You know what opened the door to degeneracy with marriage? You know what opened the door to that? Vegas. Las Vegas. Drive-through weddings. Like
I'm not going to get an answer.
Strongly don't disagree. Strongly don't disagree.
I'm saying, like, marriage hasn't been sacred in a long-ass time. It doesn't even fucking
right
matter.
So this is about whataboutism. We're talking about this concept here, but you want to go whataboutism over there. I've got no
I didn't mean to
qualms.
whataboutism anybody. I'm just pointing out that that marriage has been
Yeah,
sacred.
I've got no qualms with fucking people like exploiting marriage for, I don't know, tax reasons, whatever people come up with, right? I've got no problems with marching their asses off of the volcano
but they're
either.
not gay. What if you guys get married but they're not gay and they're just doing it for tax purposes? Like that stupid fucking Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Because so they have to prove they're gay first.
Because like what? Because like
no, just the marriage wouldn't be allowed.
They didn't have gay sex, so like I mean they didn't break your precious little law. So like why is that not okay?
The marriage wouldn't be allowed. Period.
Okay, let me ask another question. If a man decides to have kinky sex with his wife, does that count as volcano?
I actually need help with the old Judeo-sodomy regulations. It's not exactly clear within the Bible. You have to actually go through some of the older Judaism texts.
No pun intended, but yes.
Well, yeah, but I guess that's the thing is like, because here's the thing with Christianity, right? And I know that you agree with this because you've made arguments that are along these lines. Like, it is very difficult to understand for the average Christian where Christianity begins and where Judaism ends, right? And I think that the funny thing, like someone like Machine Lies has a much more coherent view of it, whether he's right or wrong. He has evidence to back up his version of what he sees where this happens.
Machine Lies knows Christianity better than most Christians do by far.
Yeah, that's because Islam is a step back toward Judaism.
Okay, I don't know.
That's actually not too bad of an argument, but still, but that's what we're talking about. So.
I would love to hear that debate, but because I don't know that, but that sounds very interesting as a debate. So that's very interesting to me. So based on that, you can understand where, and you and I already talked about this. There will necessarily be if Christian nationalism ever does take hold in it gets any real foothold.
It won't under this context. That's for damn sure.
Well, don't be so sure. But here's what I would say. Like I brought this up to Jeff earlier. Let me bring this up to you, Joshua. What's your opinion of the Frankish kings before Charlemagne and after Charlemagne?
None. I don't have an opinion.
You don't have any opinion on that?
No.
I don't like the name Frank very much in general.
Well, the point of me bringing it up is there's going to be a lot of Christian on Christian slaughter, which you could argue might not be very Christian, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you could say that marching people to a volcano isn't very Christian as well. It's actually
I actually think you can make a good argument that it is, but I mean,
it sounds a lot more like a lot more like Moloch to me.
Who you throw in the volcano is going to be the key. I mean, Jesus said, like, let he who.
So political violence is Christian.
No. It's not. Well, it doesn't have to be political in nature, although it will have to be at some point political. But here's what
Christ said: "Who lives by the sword might die by the sword." Maybe, but he never mentioned anything about
No, but here's the thing: Christ said, "Let he who is without sin throw the first stone," which means everybody's going to just stone each other to death if you get what you want. Josh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really loose meaning from there. But go ahead.
No, it's not a very loose meaning. It's very true. I mean, if everyone is going to claim they're sinless, and they are.
Yeah, you think Jesus was talking about finding people without sin to cast first stone? I'm pretty damn sure he was talking about not lynch mobbing people. Meaning you have to have some type of process.
Yeah, exactly.
AKA
that's what
the
I'm
government.
Like he did with that girl today.
Yeah, the AKA the government. First of all, this isn't a legal concept, so there is no due process. Second of all, you're coming down and you're dealing with me. There is no interaction with me and another person that has any due process or constitutional rights. Those rules don't apply within my branch. So, I mean, good luck trying to pull this off. But this is your government, Jeff. This is the one that you advocate for, that you claim has got all of this shit.
Okay,
it doesn't apply to you.
What are you putting in my mouth this time? What is it that I'm supposed to have said?
Well, this goes back to what I said to you the other day, Jeff, which is that they have the NDAA under the United States Constitution. Now, you can be against it, but it does exist. So, therefore, how should we deal with the fact that we have something like the NDAA? You have to find some mechanism to say, well, we as the people don't want this, because otherwise Joshua does,
and we have that. It's called
Joshua basically has Joshua's branch basically has the right to indefinitely detention, torture, and delete anyone it sees an enemy combatant.
If he were to seize power.
Oh no! Currently is what he's saying.
Currently,
currently I have that. Well, not the
outside of the United States than they are here in the U.S.
You have jurisdiction there in Vietnam as well?
Yes.
Over Americans.
Yes.
Over Americans, but not over Vietnamese.
Right. If you went to
Vietnamese, no Vietnamese
for some
citizen.
Weird reason to visit Joshua Jones, you would be operating under a different set of laws than you operate under here in the United States.
Okay. Well,
let's put it this way. Let's hypothetically say I pull this girl's credit report. Say I find something illegal, right? All I have to do is fax this in. There's no search warrant required, right? So that any information that I find,
she's in the United States,
even though she's within the United States, that whole search and seizure concept does not apply to me.
That seems like an abusive power.
Yeah, well, welcome to it. That's what people do.
No, so you can even do that on citizens in the United States. You can just
I'm clearly doing it. I mean,
fax them in.
I don't expect to find anything illegal within her life. I mean, it could be the case. Oh well, I'd be happy if I did. I don't expect to. However, if it is the case that I do, yes, she's going to get nailed for something really stupid.
Like, are drug dealers reporting crime?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. What?
How does something illegal end up on a credit report? Like, what would it?
Nothing. Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all, a credit score getting pulled for a person. Jesus Christ. A credit report being pulled on a person.
If I find anything illegal on her credit report that she's already.
Do you think? Hold on. You're questioning the methodology. So let me explain it to you. One, do you believe that the credit report is the only thing I'm going after?
You said credit report. I'm going off of your words.
Yes, I pulled her credit report. What do you fucking think is next, you dumb fuck? Jesus Christ.
Or if you find out,
shut your mouth and hear what I am saying. Do you think I am going to stop with a credit report?
You can't answer.
Do you think? No, because you're trying to say that a credit report is the only thing I'm after. Do you think I'm going to stop there?
I didn't say that at all. You have such poor.
Then what do you think I'm going to find within that credit report that's going to lead me into 10 different directions?
You brought up finding something illegal on her credit report.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I did not say. I said if I find something illegal, anything I find is outside the purview of fucking a search and seizure.
So what would you find illegal?
I don't fucking know. If I were to walk into your house right now, Jeff, do you think I would find something illegal?
No.
Do you have any? Oh, wait, freeze. Do you have possession of marijuana? Do you have possession of marijuana?
It's not illegal here.
It is at a federal level.
Federally, it is. Yeah.
Federally, I could nail your ass for it. Yes.
Well, try it, Joshua.
I'm not trying to try it. Your dumb ass seems to think that the only thing that operates within reality is what's right around you.
No, that's not anything I said. You brought up finding something illegal in her credit report. You can rewind the stream if you don't believe me. If you mention
Jesus fucking Christ.
Don't
did
try
I?
to argue to me like I'm the one that's confused.
Is that what I said? Or did I say if I find something within it, she is not subject to fucking search and seizure?
Rewind the stream. We can find out what you said.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So you heard credit report. You heard credit report, but you missed the search and seizure part.
I heard it because you said it. That's why.
Yeah, you're not listening, Jeff.
You said it.
This is why dumb people can never fucking work. This is proof that the government isn't employed with a bunch of dumbasses.
I love how worked up you're getting over your own words.
Okay, let me ask this last question. This is very intense. Okay, so shit, I forgot my question.
Well, I have another question for Joshua that's completely unrelated.
Oh, no,
you were talking in the Discord earlier, and you mentioned something called MEM, M-E-M, like self-help.
Yes.
What is MEM?
It's that mind over energy or mind energy. I have fucking some asshole by the name of now I can't remember his name. I just looked it up because the other dude fucking mentioned his name. It's this mind over energy bullshit. It's a self-help book. Dude makes claim a lot of weird stuff.
It's a new age thing, correct?
Yeah, it's like the non-occult version of that blood over intent thing, basically.
I don't know if I would call it new age, just because this shit was around even back in the 90s. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
maybe
that's when new age shit started. Was like the 80s and 90s. So
I got into it. Yeah, I mean, it was around long before that, like even the 60s and 70s.
Well,
in
technically,
California stuff, but I got into it in the 90s, very early 90s.
You could take it back much further.
89, in fact. Actually.
Theosophical Society was 100 years ago, but yeah, I know. I mean, technically, that's when it started. But I mean, I would argue, or I would say much further. But let's just go with Theosophical Society and shit like that. But so here's what I was trying to get across as a point. Jeff, the other day when you and I had this conversation and I said, well, what if somebody abuses their power and it's legal? And you said, well, we have to try to do something about that. Well, here is a guy who works for the federal government and telling you, yes, it's an abuse of power and it's legal. So what would am I a conspiracy theorist?
Yeah, I think I said something about accountability mechanisms, and we're just taking his word for it that there is no accountability mechanism, but I would definitely look into
there is,
see what the options were if he tried something crazy.
There is. My supervisor. That's the accountability standard.
Okay, yeah, so you say, but I can do my own research. Like, I trust myself on this way more than you.
Okay.
But it's kind of what he can get away with, though, at the end of the day, I guess. Yeah,
my supervisor damn sure is not going to care.
If you're pulling credit reports on Americans,
it's not illegal to do that. You can do that as an American citizen. You can do that with other people. It's not.
Like any of us could pull a credit report and in fact something to the FBI saying,
"Yeah, you totally could." Yeah, if you anybody can pull a credit report on anybody anytime. Yeah, you just have to pay for it.
Not the pulling of the credit report. Listen to me, guy. Not the pulling of the credit report. I know anybody can do that. The turning in of something illegal.
Oh yeah, I don't know how you find something illegal on a credit report myself.
So let's. I'm trying to imagine because my imagination.
Never did answer the question of what illegal would show up on a credit report.
What? Okay. I understand what you're saying, Joshua. You're saying that the credit report is just the beginning anyway. What on a credit report would lead you to something that would just give me an example
stupid, of Chris? He wasn't talking about a credit report. Why do you think it's a credit report?
Okay, so since I've got to fucking explain this, since I've got to explain the step process of searching people out. One, start with a fucking credit report because it tells you who they're doing business with, who they've had bad business run-ins with, who they've had good business run-ins with, right? Store. It gives you a really rough idea of like their mode of travel, how they get around. Hell, even their vehicle might be on it, right? So the concept is you start there and you work your way out, like in the center of a spider web, and you work your way out.
So
Could you find something illegal? Yes. You could also end up with fucking banking transactions that violate fucking some weird statute. There's all kinds of weird fucking shit.
Do you have like access to back end stuff where you could like erase someone's credit report? You could like erase their credit record. Can you do that?
What if they
I
show
don't.
her?
I don't think so. No. Me personally, no.
If you could murder someone without due process, I mean, how could you? How would it be that difficult for you to like get rid of get rid of like all their good credit, like just ruin their credit? I mean, it seems like that wouldn't be that fucking far out, far fetched.
Yeah, I've never offed anybody, so I don't even know what that is. Do people do it? Yes.
You said you did. You told us you did.
You said you could. You said you could. You didn't say you
no,
did.
No. What he's talking about is assassinating somebody. Me fucking protecting a Tahoe from me protecting. You idiot. Me protecting a Tahoe from fucking somebody taking the damn classified documents in the back of it are completely different things.
You said you were being a buffoon with your weapon and it wasn't intentional.
A buffoon with my intentional? I said the first guy was unintentional. I wasn't aiming at him. I was aiming at the second guy that was running in front.
That was my definition of offing somebody. So. Okay. Cool.
Man, I can't remember when I've enjoyed this more.
What happened there? He left?
He left, yeah. He raged.
He left and got dropped off. Wow.
Well,
I guess I'm the one that pushed him over the edge. I didn't think
I think it was me. I think it was me because I'm really good at what. Oh, he's back. Damn. I thought you rage quit.
I thought you rage quit, dude. It was like the
I was
moment.
Claiming, I was taking
timing
the
was
no.
Timing, because it seemed like you were mad.
I wiped my fucking screen because it's got a little bit of dust on it, and apparently
I've done that before.
Apparently on the phone that fucking refreshes or some shit.
Yeah. No, I did that the other day. I've done that before, so
no, okay.
I hear you.
I gotta jump off here because I gotta go. Not be a degenerate.
No,
I don't want to be volcanoed and or.
No. Did you read my big Spurg rant to you on Discord?
By the way, anyone else can come up. This is an open panel.
But Joshua, are we cool? Am I going to be doxed or volcanoed based on our conversation?
Have we ever not been cool? Like I stood by you after the whole fucking ortho bro shit.
I'm just being.
I want you to dox me, Josh. I want you to dox me. Please try
to
dox me and see.
Why would anybody care about you? You're not like you're not going around fucking saying one thing and doing another. You're not really. You're annoying. You're not an asshole. Actually, no.
I'll fucking dox myself. I'll put my address on the screen. I don't give a fuck. But NeuroJack, yeah, definitely read my big Spurg rant here on Discord. I think you'll find it interesting. It wouldn't be interesting. It would not be interesting to anyone else in this panel, but it would be interesting to you specifically. So, like,
no, I will. I read the first message, but I've been super busy. But I will. I gotta go.
A bunch of things rolled off my brain. All of a sudden, it was a moment of genius revelation.
Joshua is definitely helping to. I know what you mean, but yeah. So I think that this is a great conversation, and I think today we had like some of the best content between here, Talcott, and your show this morning, Jeff. I think it was like really interesting conversation. And
what was going on Talcott? You talking about with that rabbit guy?
Yeah, I was so happy he showed up. That was great.
Josh, really?
I
got like Smith vibes.
I've only met Talcott one time on panel. We didn't really.
As far as I'm concerned, Smith's a legend now.
You would love him. He's like the polar opposite of y'all have like mirror image dystopia.
Well, actually, I disagree. I think that he and Talcott would actually get along pretty well after they got their differences worked out.
Because they're both very authoritarian.
Well, here's my thing, though. Here's my last question. I'm sorry to keep interjecting, but I really need to jump off. But I want to ask this last question because this has been my overarching point. Joshua, do you have any recommendation for people who, like Jeff and even me to some degree, and if we didn't want to see people thrown into a volcano without a due process, what would you recommend we do as in a legal sense to try and change the way things are in our government today? Like, just try to get people elected or something? Or
I noticed that you left me out there, man. I noticed that you just left me out
That's
entirely.
because he left you. He left you out because he left you out because as a Christian, you kind of stay under the radar.
I'm just joking, man. I'm just I'm having a good time tonight. That's all I'm about right now. So don't worry about
So I don't see it as a legal problem or why this is going to become that way.
Yeah,
I see it as a social issue that basically becomes reactionary, and then they utilize the government to kind of right it in the other direction.
It does take a village to raise a volcano, so.
Does it
Yeah,
take a
that
village
makes
to raise-
sense, Joshua, what you said, but I don't think it's a realistic scenario.
I don't know. Like I said, I can point to historical events where
I'm sure you could, but I don't think they're perfect analogies for what's
nobody at one time believed that the blacks were going to ever be free, not be slaved. Nobody ever believed a lot of things at any given time, right? It's just
But I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at is this, Joshua. If you think, because like I would say for Jeff, I would say, do you think that my arguments I made a couple of days ago about the reality of the situation in which we are, where the system that we're currently under is not as morally tied to the legal system as you want to think that it is?
Because you can't legislate morality.
bingo.
Yeah.
And
well, I would also argue that you can't volcano your way to morality either, but
Blackout.
There's somewhere in between where you're gonna find, it's like you have the legal system on one side and you have volcano on the other. Somewhere in the middle is probably where you're gonna find
Wait, do you think the volcano well, technically it was an analogy, but do you think like the volcano prescription is like this thing that's going to be like a constant?
No. I know what you already talked about it, but what I'm saying is I think that I would hope that people will turn away from what they want to do, like, because see, and I use these two polls for a reason. Like Jeff thinks that the legal system or political system has checks and balances to correct people's behavior. And you believe that essentially until people are about
not behavior, but to correct the excesses and the abuses that it
right. Well, that is a behavior at the end of the day. You can't like think
effect, but okay.
Right. And Joshua thinks that until people are about to step foot into a volcano, they're probably not going to turn away from their sin or evil or whatever, right? So I think that I would hope that we would try to give people a pathway not to jump into the volcano. But at the same time, I think people like you, Jeff, should also take a more realistic understanding that the system is not going to correct itself. Like, people have to be involved in the process or they're going to get subsumed by the volcano.
Well, I'm one of the people that's constantly saying that. What do I have to understand about that when I'm one of his biggest advocates? I do understand that. I wish more people.
But when I argue that we ought to get more people involved in the legal process, you said, "Well, good luck." And I'm like, "Well, I mean."
No, I didn't say good luck.
I think we've all been saying that we
I
need to
agree
get more
with
people
you.
not involved, but in volcanoes. Is that been clear this whole time?
No, but I know. But you said that me trying to influence people is not something that you're interested in.
I said that.
I don't remember him saying that, but I mean, maybe
I've said that.
I have to see the context. I don't remember saying that. I'm constantly telling people we have this amazing political process, one of the best ever in human history here in America, and that people should participate and use it more instead of complaining and acting like victims.
Right. Well, and what I'm showing you is you are looking at a future where your government might be marching you into a volcano if people don't get actively involved.
I don't take him serious. I do not take Joshua.
I think you should take him seriously.
Worried
personally
that this is going to happen.
I don't think Joshua is joking. I think we should take what he's saying seriously.
No,
I don't think he's joking.
Here's the question.
I think he's incredibly out of touch.
You asked me, and I'll say it. Take a look at Coshecton, New York.
You're gonna have to spell that
Well, drop the
weird
link.
language.
It's an Indian name. We didn't come up with it. Shit, it's just always been that name. Anyways, it's the name of a town, one of about I think 9 within the area, not within that county, but within the area that don't allow gay marriage.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Go there and try to get married. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to tell you you're not a resident of that town, thus you can't get married there. So that's your first legal,
You can't get married because there's no one there to marry you?
No, you can't get married because you're not a resident of that town.
Okay, but that doesn't have to do with anything gay.
Right.
Gay
Now,
people can
if
be
you're
arrested.
gay in that town, you're still not going to get married. Like I said, we've sat here and played with these
Yeah,
hypothetical-
you're offering some weird edge case that's not even going to hold up if challenged. So I don't know what your point is.
Well, the only holdup is they'll sue the township.
Okay.
And if they sue the township, they'll obviously be forced to pay it, and then they'll shore up that loophole.
Okay.
That's just what they do.
What's the point about all this?
Well, that's legal. That's a law. That's people doing a thing, right?
Oh,
and
I
if you
see.
think that if you think my town was the first one to come up with this
Yeah, but
concept,
they have to
you'd be
participate in
wrong.
the process realistically and intelligently, or they're going to keep getting challenged, and it'll be temporary victories.
Sure, but you can't to be able to even challenge it. You'd have to go there and buy a house.
Okay. I take your point about it's an example of people.
So this idea that people like me, this idea that people like me don't do things we do.
I never said that. I'm talking about your little Christian dystopia fantasy. I don't take
The
seriously.
Christian dystopia thing is one example there of a thing you can't do.
Yeah, you can advocate for. I support your advocating for it. I want you on national television having these kind of conversations.
Oh, I wouldn't be the one on national television.
Melting down and
I would be
unilaterally.
I would absolutely be the wrong mouthpiece for Christian nationalism.
I think that's his point. Yeah, I think that's the whole point that he's making. He's making the point that you would be the perfect.
Yeah. I'm a jackboot, not a leader.
Perfect mouthpiece.
Yeah, no, you know what? You and Jack Delcourt should team up because you could be his muscle.
He streams
like
every day.
You could be Jack Delcourt's muscle to enforce his
like
utopia.
5 p.m. Central.
Yeah, I've never met Talcott. I've only been on one panel with him, and we didn't really interact. It was a different topic. I think it was flow states.
I have 12 watchers right now. 100%.
I think I would have a very pleasant, enjoyable conversation.
I don't know. I don't know him.
You both believe so fiercely
in
the power of mayonnaise.
Yeah, I don't hold much in belief. I do hold a lot of actions, though.
Well, see that, and he has nothing but belief and no action. So you guys are basically married already.
Damn. You had to word it that way, didn't you? Thanks, Chris. What a dick.
I mean, together you make the perfect dictator.
Yeah. Isn't dictatorship like singular?
Not in this case.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
When you get married, you would become one under God. So you would become as one under God. So I guess it would be just one dictator, really. I mean, it really wouldn't be two.
Yeah, I can't lay claim to be in the under God concept. Like I said, I lack faith.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, Jack has all the faith, and you have all the action. It's very simple. Like because Jack has no plan or action except.
Hold up, Talcott's in chat. That's not Talcott.
No, that's a Talcott troll. But I love, but yeah, he's he's not Talcott though. If he is Talcott, then I am severely underestimating Talcott's game.
Hopefully, if
Talcott created Talcott Express via troll for his own channel, then I would give Talcott I would give him whole new levels of major props and respect. I would like, dude, that game is on point right there. That's some high level YouTube game shit right there. That's some good shit.
if it was the case that he just was talking a lot and not really doing anything, especially within his personal life, yeah, I'd have qualms with that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you see, you're the guy that's going to put it all into action. And you just take all his faith and philosophy, and then you go in and enforce it. You're the jackboot, like you said. Because there has to be somebody to, somebody's got to be the guy that does this one thing, the other thing. Somebody's got to wear the pants, and that's got to be you, right?
If by wearing the pants means utilize force, I guess. I don't know.
And Joshua, I haven't gotten a copy of my credit report in a while, so please send them to me.
Yeah, really.
Got
Seriously.
your what?
If you can just get
report.
if you can get our credit reports for us, that would be cool because I don't.
Why can't you fuckers? All you have to do is go to your bank, sign a piece of paper, pay a fee, and get your own credit report. Why the fuck?
That takes like all day, man. Like that's like a big.
I hate fooling with it.
It's like a whole thing. Come on,
It would be so much more convenient if you could just send it to me.
Jesus H. Christ. Well, technically speaking, y'all paid for it anyways. Technically speaking, if you pay taxes, you just paid for me to do that.
Well, okay then. So, yeah. So we employ you. So get us our credit reports, bitch.
Yeah. I can just imagine my supervisor. Why are you pulling 50 credit reports today? Yeah, that's just going to be weird.
You're not going to do anything though. You have.
Pulling 50 credit reports, he's going to be asking me, what the fuck am I doing?
Where did the other 48 come from? We're talking about 47. 47 come from. We're talking about 3. We're talking about like the one you pulled earlier and ours. That's all we're talking about here. I'm not including anybody else in chat. Just ours. It's just us.
Oh, okay. Just you two. Just you two.
Between 3 good friends that are just talking about credit reports, man. It's no big deal. No big
deal. Seriously, that's what you want is your credit reports?
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
My credit.
I can already tell you what my credit report is. It's negative. I can tell you that for sure. So it's a bad report. It's like whenever you get the report card that you don't want to take home to your parents. That's the credit report I have. So yeah, COVID absolutely destroyed my credit to the point of like actual insanity. So
yeah, I don't know this to be a fact. I'm told. Again, I don't know. I'm told that pulling a credit report actually adds a point to it. Detracts a point to it. I'm told.
If the government does it, I'm sure it's fine. But yeah,
I don't know. I actually don't know. I've never.
I don't actually need you to.
That's like when you apply for credit and they have to run a credit.
Check. They can do a soft check. They can do a soft check, which just gives them like just the number and doesn't give them the full like report printout. If they just do the soft check, then it doesn't. But if they actually pull the whole report, it negatively impacts your credit score, which is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard. It's like, okay, so you want to know what your credit report really says? Well, fuck you. Now your credit's worse. Yeah, there's definitely some things about various systems in this country that I am not on the level with. Yeah, it's free, Chuck. You're right. It's free, but it does ding your. It does ding you.
It's a pain in the ass though to get it for free.
I've gotten my free report before because I was trying to resolve some of the debt and everything back before things got as bad as they got.
3 different websites, and some of them tell you like, oh, we can't give it to you free. You have to write in and get it by mail.
Credit Karma used to give it to you for free. Credit Karma used to, and then now they don't. Now they got bought by the other company. And they don't do it anymore.
It was freeannualcreditreport.com, and you can go to each one of the sites, and you have to fill out the information 3 different times.
You can do it. You can do it from the IRS site though. You can go on the IRS.
The IRS would send me, unless it's changed, it would send me to freeannualcreditreport.com.
Really? Okay. I did it through Credit Karma like 8 years ago, but like last time I tried to do it, I had to go. I went to something on the IRS site, and it took me somewhere, and I filled it out.
Joshua
and
might have a use,
but it was bad, and I know it's only gotten worse. So
Joshua might have a what?
You might have a use after all. You might have value.
I don't know what the soft report is. I know this is like hers
he
is
only
like
knows hard things, Jeff. Only hard reports.
I only know this girl is in her early 20s and she's got 3 pages worth of weird.
He's giving her the hard.
Damn, already
he's
3 pages
hard
of
report. Yeah.
I don't know what. To be fair, like the vast majority of it, I don't even know what it is. I'm assuming some of it, or a lot of it's like this buy here, pay here shit. I don't know for sure.
buy here, pay here shouldn't really affect credit reports that much because that should be. I mean, like people, the individual places could put a claim against them, but it's usually the kind of thing. It's usually it's bank and loan type stuff that's going to show up in the credit report more than anything. The other stuff that, like other little small loan agencies, they can show up on there, but they usually can get you can usually get those removed pretty easily just by putting a complaint in because they usually don't have the paper trail to actually back up their own bullshit.
Don't know. This one's just got a lot of shit in here. I'm just assuming it's that.
I got 2 cars repossessed here in the COVID because they both got wrecked and among other things that happened. So yeah, my report is like
She
literally
just stopped
like
because they got wrecked.
I didn't have any. I also didn't have any money. I also didn't have a job.
So they would have got repoed anyway.
Yeah, they were going to get repoed anyway. I mean, they got wrecked and then I lost my job. So I mean, like up until then, I was paying until I lost my job and I couldn't pay it anymore. And
they got wrecked, or you wrecked them?
No, one of them, my wife, in psychosis lost, and the other one, she drove over a median or something, and it fucked up the entire underside of the car. So it was going to take more than the car was worth to fix. So that was in the span of 4 days.
Damn, was this like as part of her condition?
Yes, that was part of her condition. That happened. That was like the beginning. That was like the very beginning of it. That's before I even knew what was going on. I was just like, "What the fuck? You lost a car? Like what the hell?" Yeah, I mean, it was like, it was bizarre. And like I couldn't find. I called around all the tow yards and everything, and finally figured out that it wasn't a tow yard that was like in outside of the city. Because I feel like she was downtown Dallas, and so I thought like, well, it's got to be somewhere in the Dallas area. But no, it turned out like I got a registered letter like 3 months later from like the tow yard that had it, and of course they wanted like several $1,000s to get it out of the impound, which I didn't have, and it was like about an hour and a half outside the city is who towed it. So I was like, well, I told her, and when the bank called me, I was like, well, it's apparently at this place, so I guess go get it there. Because I don't have it, I can't get it out. So I don't think they were very happy about that, but I did not.
Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta catch up with Risky. He's pinging me, so I gotta go.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go argue with another troll.
You just docs that turned against you.
No, Risky. No, that's the wrong one.
Just bring him on here.
Oh, okay.
Just bring him on here. Come on, let's like bring him in the ring.
Yeah, Risky.
Is he streaming now? What's his
Risky is not going to be interested in any of you guys. Sorry.
Okay. Well, why is he interested in you?
Well, if he's a friend of yours, I take that as a mark of pride. What's his
friend?
channel?
Friend, you guys throw these words around. How about just associate?
Well, you're enough of a friend that you're willing to like go out of your way to like to white knight for his wife and all this stuff. So that's why I'm saying he must be a good friend. I'm just saying but he's so disinterested in us. But what makes him interested in you? That's what I'm wondering.
I operate their Discord soon to be website.
What's his channel?
God, you do a lot of charity work for someone who's so
wait, hang on. I want to get his channel. What's his channel?
This might be risky.
Okay.
Charity work? No, I kind of support conservatives the best I can.
I mean, you're just like running a Discord server for free. I mean, you could be,
I'm not running it. I'm just setting it up.
It's a bunch of black women.
That's actually my point. Like you're doing all the hard work. Once the Discord server set up, there isn't anything much to do. I mean, like you're doing all the hard work for them. I respect that. I think that's cool of you. I think that's cool. It's just not the image that you portray most of the time.
that's because we have different principles. We have different standards. Generally, people that I kind of like align with. Well, in this case, it'd just be conservatism. He's an Israelite.
Conservative.
So he had
both conservatives, but anyway, centrist anyway.
Yeah,
I am trying to conserve.
Well, okay, I gotta ask. I really I'm curiosity is killing me. What exactly are you trying to conserve?
Liberal Enlightenment values.
Yeah. The liberal stances of modern day, or the liberal stances of 100 years ago?
Classical liberalism.
Classical liberalism?
Yes, classical liberalism. Not the liberal standards of modern day. Not fancy. Like everybody can be whatever they want as long as
freedom of speech, individual rights, personal freedom, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
From you, you're one of the people I'm trying to conserve them from, but I'm not worried about you.
I mean,
Yeah.
but honestly, you hold most of those values yourself. I've heard you
Right,
mention
that's
them
right,
like
yeah.
yourself. I mean, like you
Right
hold
on
most of
that.
those values personally. So I mean, they're values that you definitely align with. But
Some of them, yes.
you don't believe in personal freedom, personal
No.
you don't believe in personal freedom. So you
No,
think
I believe I believe I believe
with some he didn't he'd like.
so. I believe when a man is born, he's going to serve something. This whole
Yeah,
idea that
yeah,
men
Bob-
are just
I've
I
heard
can
Bob
do
Dylan's
whatever the
on
hell
board
I
there.
want is a bunch
Yeah.
of bullshit. But that might be this modern liberalism that he's talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Everybody's got to serve
I've also
somebody.
said with
It
freedom
might
comes
be the devil,
responsibility. It's not libertinism.
or it might be the Lord, but everybody's got to serve
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah, I've heard the song before. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, yeah, everyone serves somebody, but it's personal freedom and personal responsibility. But you know,
You'd
actually
have
taking
you'd have
responsibility
to
for your own.
yeah, you'd have to elaborate on what personal freedom is going to mean then.
Well, personal responsibility means nothing without personal freedom.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need
Just start with the personal
The
freedom.
Bill of Rights, freedom of speech,
freedom of
two-way,
speech, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
self-determination.
Your rights can be removed at any given time. Your right to vote,
They
your
can,
right to firearms.
and I believe
those are-
it's our job to fight for those
well,
rights.
Here in the U.S., they haven't been my whole life. So
your right to vote. Pick up a felony and see how that works out for you. Your right to a firearm. pick up a felony
There
and
are
see how well that works out.
when those rights.
Right. So the object.
Everybody I've ever known that owned guns.
And
have
even
tons
if
of
I
felonies,
were,
and
I'm
they
still
own more
trying
guns than anybody else I knew.
conserve them for other people.
Yeah. So you're just basically conserving selectively, kind of like what I am, I guess. I think.
No, I mean for all
I'm
people.
conserving the values that are currently under attack.
Oh yeah. I'm the current values. I think they're garbage, just complete trash.
The existing classical liberal values, not the current values that you're talking about, which is like trans agenda stuff and stuff shit like that. That's not what we're talking about. We've never been for that stuff, and you know that. We've had these conversations before. You know that what we're about and that sort of thing. Like that's just like that's ridiculous.
I had hoped originally.
Yeah, no, we're absolutely not. Like I mean,
We've let him down.
We've let him down so hard because we're not
shattered his
pro
illusions of it.
volcano. So,
No, I just
Are you really, Fatty? You're a felon? Did you get it expunged? How come you can own the guns in
different states?
Wait,
allow
how do all these
states allow it?
it's called restoration of rights.
Yeah.
Some states, it's called restoration of rights. Some states do it automatically. I think 3 of them. 3 states will restore your rights.
I believe Texas is. I think Texas is one of them, isn't it? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Shit, I don't think so, but don't cite me on that. Right? There's 50 different regulations.
I sure know a lot of felons that voted, so I don't know in Texas.
Yes. So you can obtain your restoration of rights. The downfall to this one, though, is if you. I've heard of people doing it themselves, which is basically just filing a motion at the clerk of court. Possible. I don't know what that entails, so I guess that would have like a fee. Like if you're going to record anything at the clerk of court, obviously it's going to have a fee to it. The other route is to go through like a lawyer to do it. That's usually like, let's just put a ballpark figure around $2,500. I think there's some places that are like offering it for like $1,500. It comes with a cost. I usually like
there are states I know that it does cost, but like there's more than a few that I know that you can just apply for it and get it back. But still,
I'm a big advocate of people going back and getting their voting rights. Wish people would get their gun rights back, but yeah, shit. Different states again has different regulations on that shit.
Hey, in Texas, all you gotta do is find the right tent, and you can buy guns all you want. So, gun shows are still a thing out here. It's funny. Anyway,
my state is incredibly harsh. New York, absolutely, just
New York, Illinois, California. Those are all like very harsh gun law states. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. Texas, on the other hand, though, no. I mean, like, the only reason I don't own, I actually am going to be inheriting a whole lot of guns from from like parents. But I own no guns currently because I can afford them. Guns are expensive. I don't understand how people own so many of them. Like the guns are so fucking expensive. I don't get it. Even if you go to a pawn shop, you try to find a cheap one, you can't even find one. So Anyway,
Unless he's just talking about owning guns anyways, like within violation, in which case I don't know exactly. I guess it depends on what state.
We'll pull his credit report and find out.
me?
One,
Yeah,
I don't know who he is, and mostly don't care.
No, fatty.
Fatty. All right.
Oh, Uncle Fatty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that, restoration of rights.
Thought after all this time, I thought you would have cared about me
Yeah,
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
yeah,
Josh.
he's talk-
I'm so
he's talking.
I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken.
I
Yeah,
have
he's-
no delusions about
So
Josh.
heartbroken right now. I
He-
can't
he's
even
talking-
express my southern heart is just so
He's just a
broken.
Yeah,
squeak.
He's talking about restoration of rights.
Yeah.
I thought as much. Usually that's the case.
After 7 years.
Anyway,
of
That
operation,
includes
yeah.
guns, or is that a state thing?
Restoration of rights. Yes, you could have your firearms rights restored. There are some caveats that go in with that too. Like, so if, and again, it comes down to different states. Some states are like, if it's a violent crime, they won't do it. I've seen one state that has like, if you have those order protections, they won't do it based off of that, which has nothing to do with your conviction. It still applies. It's just some states are weird. I've never seen anything universally across the board, other than restoration of rights is a thing.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's like I said, like I actually.
Which state are all the convicts moving to? Like, what's the most friendly state for convicts?
I would assume Florida and Texas probably the two most friendly at the moment, but I'm not sure what that. I know Florida had really harsh, like they didn't allow felons to ever get their voting rights back for a long time. They repealed that back like in Trump's administration or like that. So like they actually have the ability to get their voting rights back now. They did not for a very long time. That was like a big point of contention for Florida, that Florida was too mean to felons or something like that. So, but yeah, I know that you can now there, but I think that's something maybe DeSantis might have done or something like that. But yeah, I agree I agree that guns are an investment, Gary. I mean, it's just like I've never had the money to invest in anything, let alone guns. So I didn't even get to invest in that damn Bitcoin. Damn it!
I couldn't get into the exchange. I couldn't get verified.
I'm a big fan of people owning firearms. I'm a big fan of it. But I really got to go catch up with Risky. I will catch up with you guys later.
All right.
Okay, take care. I almost said good talking.
It was good talking. It was fun.
It was with Neuro. I'll catch him when he gets back. Take care, guys.
I had fun, Josh. But even if you didn't, I had fun. So
y'all take care. Bye.
Later. Bye.
You shot a moose just because? That seems sadistic.
Dude, have you ever met a moose though? I mean, I've only video, but moose are not like. If you can encounter a moose and you're not shooting it, you're gonna get killed by a moose. Moose are not like, they're not friendly creatures. They're angry, violent, like them and kangaroo, like in the kangaroos and in Australia the same way. Like kangaroos are like these things. If you see them, you run.
I know. Did y'all see that video of the kangaroo trying to get to those people's house?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, kangaroos and moose are both like, moose will do that shit too. Moose will ram somebody's like patio door and like get in their house and just rampage through it and shit like that. I have several people that I know that live in Alaska where they have encountered moose, and it is a real thing. Like moose really are psychopathic creatures that have no they have no sense of anything except for violence. They wake up and they choose violence every day. So
they look so peaceful.
They do, but they are not. They are there's like this there's this radio spot that I hear every now and then whenever I don't actually listen to the radio that much, but every now and then in the car, instead of plugging in my phone and like playing music off the phone, I will occasionally like play the local indie rock station that we have. We have one little indie station here. And it was that, well, there's this commercial for an insurance company. This woman's like, I just wondered, like, what happens if like a moose, like, happened to like try to like, try to ram its way into my car, and what if I, and like, the guy's like, just call a claim on the the whatever the app, the Allstate app or something like that. She's like, okay, and what if he tried to eat my phone? And like, and the whole time I'm just thinking like, that bitch is dead. That woman is not going to be filing no claims of any kind. That woman is dead. There is no way in hell that woman is surviving that moose attack. Moose do not fuck around. I have seen so many videos and heard so many stories from the people of Alaska of like just like you see a moose and it's not even like a funny thing. It's not funny at all. You see a moose and it is like your life is in your hands. You better find a way to get as far away from that moose, and they're fast too. Apparently they run like the wind. So you have it's worse than like a wildcat or a bear. That's what I've been told. But I mean, I've never been to Alaska, but I know like 8 different people that live there. So somehow I knew no one that lived there before I lived in Vegas, and then like one of my friends, this girl I hired at the movie theater, she was from Alaska and she was going back, and then my friend Mark decided to go. She was like, "Why don't you come to Alaska with me, Mark?" And he was like, "Okay." And so him and his girlfriend moved to Alaska too, and then he invited a whole bunch of my other friends from Texarkana, and like they all end up living in Alaska. So I know like all these people live in Alaska now. It's really weird, but I've never been there, so. They live up in Juneau too. They don't even live in Anchorage, like where all like the city is. They live in rural Alaska. Just is just crazy to me. It's like, just cold all the time, which I don't know. I guess I like cold better than heat, but still. Shot my moose 2 years ago, yeah, with an with an SKS 762. Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. Yep. I understand. If you live in Alaska, you ought to be open carrying a weapon just to protect you from moose. I'm sure there's a very good reason that we just started watching the new True Detective.
Oh yeah,
last
the new
night.
True Detective. We watch it every Sunday. It's
and it's set
we're
up.
only in the
It's
first
not in
episode,
Alaska. It's
so
set in the
plenty of
Arctic.
time to get in on it.
Set in the Arctic Circle or whatever. I don't know. It's set somewhere up in the Arctic. I guess it's
Alaska.
I guess
Ennis, Alaska. It's the northern. I don't know if it's a real town, but it's the northernmost town.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the
United
yeah.
States.
It's set during like the dark season where like there's no daytime.
Okay, apparently it's a fictional town. It's not real, but there is a town called Utgiakuchevik, which it's modeled on.
They do have that in Juneau though. Like they have about 3 months where there is pretty much like nothing but sunlight, and 3 months where there's nothing but dark. It's not a full 3 months, but somewhere in between 2 and 3 months there is an entire season where it's just daylight doesn't happen, and then for another 2 months and however much changed, like there's no sunlight for that amount of time, and it does really fuck with people's heads, I guess. There was a movie that had that as a big component of it several years back that Christopher Nolan did called Insomnia. It had
I think I saw it.
Al Pacino, Hilary Swank, Robin Williams was the villain. Yeah. Yep. It was kind of like the whole thing was like he was like losing his mind because like it was sunlight all the time and he couldn't like sleep. So, yeah. Yep. That's a real thing. It'd be so weird to me to like live to like it just the way like the days get longer and shorter just in Texas fucks with me enough. I can't even imagine like how much it would fuck with my ability to even like sleep even a little bit if I had to like go through like 3 months of nonstop dark or 3 months of nonstop light. I don't even know where I think I'd lose my mind too. So anyway. Well, I guess we accomplished our goal for the night. Anyway,
yeah,
we brought them on. We got them in the ring.
I'll try to go for 2 hours.
Yeah, we're right there. I got 2 minutes left there. So,
but unless anybody else wants to come on at the last minute, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Sorry, and Chris is doing the stream tomorrow on his channel.
The link is in the chat. It's the same last link I put up there.
Go visit him there, and that'll be where the Outlier will be tomorrow.
The Outliers are exiled to that channel for tomorrow, and that's where we've been exiled to there, and then we'll be back. So.
Oh, you too, Fatty. Good to see you.
Yeah. I mean, you're welcome to come on anytime, dude. Anytime. Yep. You've been killing it in chat here like this morning and today, man. You've just been just on point.
And mash those buttons.
Yeah. We actually do have a few. We actually had quite a few likes on the video already, and so we had about, I think we had close to 16 viewers earlier whenever things were heated between Jack and him. 157 subscribers, another 2 subscribers. So,
dang, they do keep going up.
I mean, it was weird because we were so stagnant at like 80. We were at 81 for like a long time, for like a couple like 2 or 3 months. It just stayed at 81, and then we just right near the end of the year started like gaining subscribers.
Well, that's because we have one of the best audiences out there, I think.
Yeah, and our audience I think we really have earned the audience we have too, because the people that come here, they seem to respect the stream. That
I
we
wouldn't
do,
have
they
it
don't
any other
really-
way.
Me too. Yeah. Even though it's not as may not be as fast and crazy as you get the numbers whenever you really play into the troll numbers, but I like the audience we have, and it's much more.
Yeah, we're not doing troll drama. We're not doing panel drama just to grow. We're trying to provide something quality here. Yes, I agree, Chuck. It was my goal from the very beginning to grow organically, and it still is.
But it is crazy how like once you start gaining every little like milestone you hit, how much like the numbers go up. That it's exponential. It's just like one of those things that just shows you like those like the way like they talk about wealth, income disparity and stuff like that. The reason why people that get money end up getting more and more money. The more you have of something, just the more you end up getting of it. Regardless, it's just like a natural thing that happens. It's this natural hierarchy thing that happens, which is very frustrating, but it's still very much is real. It is not something that is imposed by the elites and the rich people that want to keep the poor man down, as everybody thinks. So yeah, good night to you, Uncle Fatty. Good night to Chuck and Gary, if you're still out there. And I don't know, and the other Chris bastard by stealing my name.
Well, you're satiric iconoclast anyway.
I know. I'm
You
just
can have
kidding.
Chris.
I don't care. I could not imagine.
Savages yeah, well, you obviously saw the Savages are safe here. We had Joshua Jones on all damn night. Yeah, absolutely. Hoes Unite.
Hoes Unite.
I don't know about that, but probably
heathens are safe here, right?
Are there any hoes that want to come on?
Is hose stand for something? I'm trying to figure out. Heathens are no, it doesn't stand for that. So I don't know what that stands for. I don't know. Okay, I thought for a second I thought he was like spelling it out because it was like stand for something, but it doesn't stand for anything. So anyway, all right, guys. Well,
okay.
We are at 2 hours, and that is our time. So I guess tomorrow, like I said, the link is right there in the chat. It's in there twice.
I'll post it in the Discords and social media and all that. So
you don't have to come. I don't really know what it's going to be. It's probably, but my goal is to make it just like this. I'm just going to host the show like we normally would. It would just be the normal show. But if nobody shows up, I might just like, I don't know. I talked to Jack about maybe just like looking at some clips or something like from this or that or something, trying to like just do something, just something silly if no one shows up. But I don't know. You might show up and find a very different stream, but more likely you'll just see like the same kind of bullshit. So
and we'll be back probably on Thursday. So
yeah. And if not, then I'll do one more show if you're still busy on Thursday. Because you said you might be busy on Thursday too, didn't you?
Yeah, it depends on what time my appointment ends. But I think I'll be home in time. I should be.
Heathens, Outliers,
Exile. Oh, I like it. The hose. I love that, Fatty.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Heathens, Outliers, Exile, Savages. Okay, now I got you.
Actually, can I steal that? I might use it in our description.
Yeah. The Hocast. We could just call it. We rebrand a Hocast.
The Ho part of the streets.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you for that.
All right, guys. Well, good night to all, and to all a good night. It is. I guess it's probably like almost 1 a.m. here now. So I guess I'm going to, since I slept like an hour last night, I should probably get some sleep tonight. So good night to all. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Yep. Good night or day or whatever if you're from Vietnam. Bless your soul. And whoever else you are.
Stay away from volcanoes, for God's sakes. God's sakes, they don't like you. I promise it.
All right. Well, that's all we got. Until tomorrow, go visit Chris on his stream at the same time as ours usually is. And take care. It's good seeing everyone. Bye.